Welcome, everybody. Let's see what healing messages we have for today. What healing messages does Spirit have for us today? What healing message do you have for us today, Spirit? What healing messages do you have for us today? Shame and guilt and limiting beliefs. In the bottom of the deck, we have positive change. So these are the healing messages that the Lord has for us today. Shame and guilt. It says, fill them without judgment. Mistakes do not define your worth. Compassion and acceptance for yourself. You can't feel shame or guilt if you don't forgive yourself. No one can shame and guilt you when you can't forgive, when you've forgiven yourself of the shame and guilt. So the first step is to confess your sins, give them to God, and accept the forgiveness that He gave us, so you can first forgive yourself. And then when others, the accusatory, points fingers at you, you don't have to accept that shame and guilt. You might feel a certain way about someone throwing, your past in your face or a mistake in your face, but you don't have to accept their judgment because you are already forgiving yourself. You have to use your own authority and not allow others dictate how you feel about yourself. The second one we have is limiting beliefs. Ultimately, you become what you believe. Mindset and self-realization. If you continue to live in shame and guilt, it's going to weigh on you. You're going to carry it in every situation you go through. You're going to see it through that lens. You're going to make decisions in that lens. You have to release the burden that you put on yourself. And understand there is a way to come out of shame and guilt. Once you tried your own ways, God gives us grace. He gives us freedom. He allows us to make our own choices. And so once you tried everything in your own power and you get to the end of your rope, He's going to always be there. It was always in His plan. He has never left you. He has never forsaken you. We leave Him. I feel like I'm talking to someone who's in their self. They dictate their own beliefs, and they, of course, we make our own decisions, but you don't rely on a higher source to dictate your emotions or how you feel about things. So you rely on other things to influence you, other ways of relieving the shame and guilt, or whatever it is that's negatively influencing you. We all do it. I do it too, I do it too. I do everything else, then I go right back to the plan, which is God. He allows me to do it. I do it every day. Not in just big, huge things, in small little things. Small things. Not stopping at the gas station before I get home, and doing it in the morning. That's the worst decision, but I do that all the time. and I'm always running late, or it irritates me, and it baffles me that I continue to do those things. But we do, because it's free will, and we just and stuck in our ways. And we're stuck in our ways. We do things, we operate in our own ways until we become burdened by our own ways. Until you really become burdened about the things that you do or allow in your life, that's when a lot of people go towards the plan, which I call the plan is Christ Jesus, God. So the beauty of it all, that he gives us freedom. He gives us freedom to do it our own way. And the beauty of it all, and he's always there at the end of the day. He's always there at the end of the day when we get out of our own way. So yeah. So I would say the message right now is your limiting beliefs, our limiting beliefs, our mindsets keeps us in shame and guilt and doing things over and over and over again and getting the same outcome. Shame and guilt don't have to be anything huge. It can be just feeling guilty that you didn't go to the grocery store this weekend to prepare for this week. Guilt comes in all kinds of ways. In the ways we spend our money, in the ways we think. Of course, it's always, it's like a ladder that never ends. But God doesn't want us to live that way, because living that way doesn't bring anything but destruction. I've never seen anybody who was prosperous who lived in shame and guilt. Prosperous meaning happy, joyful. They don't have the fruits of the Spirit. When you live in shame and guilt, you can't. They both can't be in the same room together. I'm rejoiceful and prosperous and happy and healthy and physically energized, but be written with shame and guilt. It will show on my outer appearance. It will show somehow in my life. Even if I hide it, it will show. So if you open up your beliefs that God has a plan, his perfect plan, and walk through his perfect plan's doorway, it will bring all kinds of positive changes in your life. It says transform pain into strength and empower yourself as sin evolution free. That means you have to do it. He's not going to do it for you. He's asking. He already has the plan for you. It's there if you want it. You have free will to walk through his doors into his plan and to see the positive changes that he'll bring into your life. You will start doing things in a better way for yourself. Your life will lift up and be less burdened, because you're trying to take on everything on your own. All these tasks and all these taskmasters, bills, kids, just being alive in this world, taskmasters. God, having a relationship with God allows us to not live under condemnation and burden of this world's taskmasters, which is meant to keep us in shame and guilt and keep chasing our tail, trying to do better the next day, but always failing when we're doing it within ourselves. If you release it, give it to God, give him the glory, and ask him for help, he will help us, which will bring positive change. So let's see what areas we're having these shame and guilt in. Let's move these over here. Let's do it like this. Let's start with shame and guilt. Lord, for the collective, in what areas are they feeling shame and guilt? What's the hidden areas? We know the common areas. We know how we feel, right? Shame and guilt is feelings. But what hidden areas? The areas that we're not aware of. Maybe because we pushed it down so far back that other shame and guilt areas are taking its place. But we want to know the hidden areas. What areas can you help us with? Take us out of this shame and guilt. These big old cards, right? But I like them. And what areas of shame and guilt showing up in our life? The hidden areas that you want to bring light to, positive change to. And what areas? One card, one card, one card. Big deck. Some flip. Yep, you did. No, okay, flipper. No, let's try it again. What areas? What areas? Oops, got two areas, two cards. In work, collaboration, and the Four of Cups. So 3 of Pentacles. So yeah, shame and guilt. With work, with collaborating, with our money, even with asking for help. I'm looking at the 3 of Pentacles on this card. The 2 people are standing together and they're looking up at a man who's looked like he's announcing something. And the expressions on these couples' face is like intrigue, like they're asking a question, looking for higher knowledge. Because there's a library in this card. And it's a man who's hiding behind a pillar in this library in this card. So are we hiding the fact that we need help? We need guidance to work these things out in us? Are we feeling shame and guilt because we cannot rid ourselves of shame and guilt and that we have to go to him and ask him for help to rid shame and guilt? That we have to maybe read our Bible, read the word, maybe go sit under tutelage, go to church? Is that what we don't want to do? We feeling guilty? Shame and guilt that we need help, we need God, we need a savior? Yeah, that's what I'm getting. And we don't want to do it. We don't want to help. We don't want to ask God for his help. We want to do it on our own. We sitting there look at the same 3 things, same as the 3 of Pentacles, the same 3 cups, even though there's 4 cups. We're ignoring that 4th cup, that help cup. So we feeling shame and guilt because we can't do this on our own, that we need help. So that's the hidden shame and guilt. That we need help. We know that he has a plan for us. But we keep ignoring his plan. So that maybe the shame and guilt is because we keep ignoring his plan. And I can relate to that. I can really relate to that. Want to do things your own way? Yeah. We believe that we can do it our own way. But when we do it our own way, it limits us. You think doing our own way opens the whole world to us and the universe and whatever else is out there we're open to? But it actually limits us. So the invitation here is saying, accept his offer, accept his plan, accept his hate. Ooh, not accept his hate. Some of you guys feel that God may hate you. He doesn't. Accept his hand and accept his plan to help you release the shame and guilt for good. Not for just this week, not just because you heard this message for today and then looking for another message tomorrow because you still got the same shame and guilt. God's plan rids all this shame and guilt. If you accept his help, he rids the shame and guilt. It's not a residual shame and guilt that's going to come over tomorrow. No, when he rids something, he rids it for good. Then you can move on to the next shame and guilt or whatever else that's, hindering you to be stuck in life. We all got stuck issues in life. We don't like to admit it. We don't usually admit it. But you see it in everybody. You can see it in the person. You can see in the way a person has road rage. You can see how a person treats their kids, a dog, or their husband, or their wives, or their co-workers, or their neighbors. You see it every day. Nobody's perfect. But some people allow that toxic energy to get so powerful within them, and it comes out. I think the dangerous people is the one who can keep it hidden, because you don't know what lies beneath them, So I think God's plan is he wants us to surrender those emotions, those negative emotions, those shortcomings that keep us locked up, so we can be free of it, so we can live a free, positive life. That's the change. That's what's in this cup. Positive change. So God is asking us to accept his cup of positive change in our life, so we can be released from this burden. And it takes going to him and asking him. You can do it alone, like that guy in the corner in the library, by just asking him, talking to him. Open up a Bible, open up your YouTube, and finding you someone that you relate to that breaks down God's love and God's plan in a way that you can understand. Just don't limit your beliefs on what God can do. Surrender to trusting him. Even surrender just to acknowledge his presence. All right. What else? Let's get something from this deck. This deck is called Know Your True Power Through Jesus. Fiery flipped. Let's try that again. All right. Let me tie in this message that you have for us. One card. One more shuffle. Bottom of deck. Romans 8:28. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. It says we know. We know. Surrender to knowing God for yourself, so you can stand on this verse right here and speak it into your own life. And we know that In all things, God works for his good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. Romans 8:28. Joshua 1:9. I have not commanded you. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Surrender to his plan for you. His plan for you is not his plan for me. It's not his plan for your child or your neighbor or your sister or your mother or your brother. Okay? His plan is only for you. So never compare yourself to someone else's life, because God has his own specific plan, unique to you. I love that. I love that. I mean, when I say I love that about God, that he is so individual, it's not a religion, it's a relationship. Remember that too. It's not a religion, it's a relationship. If you can come to understanding that, then you can understand why people call themselves Christians, right? That's just the term. It's not a religion. It's a personal relationship. It's a friendship. What is God calling us to surrender right now? God, what are you calling us to surrender right now? Surrender to what is. Flow with what is instead of fighting it. When you can't change a situation, compassionately accepting it exactly as it is will bring you peace. To me, it's a surrender to flow. You can't stop the flow. It's going to happen regardless. Time is flow. You cannot stop time. But if you're resisting it, it makes life harder. If you're resisting the flow, it makes life harder. And it's crazy that we think we can stop something like that, right? And what it does is lock us up. It locks our spirit up. It locks our soul up. It locks our mind up. It locks our emotions up. And something that's not going to stop. Life is going to continue to go. It's going to continue to flow. So surrender to it. One more. Surrender. There's too many. Let's take that one. Surrender to fear. Let go of fearful stories you are telling yourself. Stay in the moment. Focus on solutions and celebrate every baby step forward. There you go. Baby steps. 3 Pentacles. Baby steps. Practical baby steps. By either going to a YouTube video that teaches God's plan that you can understand or relate to, or being alone like that guy in the back and going into the Word for yourself and asking him to teach you his plan for you, right? Which I prefer, because it's a one-on-one conversation. Remember, it's a relationship. It's such an intimate discussion because it's about you. It's not about society. It's about you. It's about you as an individual. He's interested in you as an individual. Don't make it so big. Make it very personal when you talk to God. And ask him whatever you want to ask him. Ask him those hard questions. And listen. Listen for what he has to say. And question his authority. He doesn't mind that. He created us to ask questions. Okay. Let's close out this message with Jesus calling. I heard take this one. It says, I am King of kings and Lord of lords, dwelling in unapproachable light. Let me read again. I am King of kings and Lord of lords, dwelling in approachable light. When you draw near me, I respond by coming closer to you. As my presence envelops you, you may feel overwhelmed by my power and glory. This is a form of worship, sensing your smallness in comparison to my greatness. And it's giving references of what scripture you can find this at. 1 Timothy 6:15-16. James 4-8, Acts 17-28, Psalms 145, 3-6, from Jesus Calling. That tied that in very well. But the Lord just showed me another deck that I have. He asked me to go ahead and pull that one out. So I will. And I think it's going to be specific to whoever finds this video, whatever comes out on this this deck, okay? It's not going to be for everybody. It's for a specific person. So I just want to thank you for being here. If you're still here. And for this specific person, I don't know who you are, but the Lord is telling me your name could be Rosie or Rose. But he's asking me to pull out this deck. Okay? This is the Inner Child Oracle. God just don't work on the outside of you. He starts from the inside of you. So this is your inner child. So whoever this message is for, Lord, I thank you for this person right now. It says Nolan, Lies and Secrecy, card 40. Let's read about Nolan. Let's see. Let me go to the front. Nolan. He's on page 139. Okay, Nolan. Lies and Secrecy. It says, my name is Nolan. I learned to survive and be seen by lying. My parents were always really busy and pushed me away. I started making stories to get attention, but soon my stories started to hurt other people. Now they are hurting me. I have pushed everyone away with my words. I don't even believe in myself anymore. If Nolan arrived in a reading, your inner child might be feeling they can't get attention or support they crave and need without lying or exaggerating their worth. If you were ignored or not believed as a child, chances are you got creative with your attention seeking. Oftentimes, storytelling and fibbing becomes a coping mechanism to draw people in and get the attention the child craves, even if it's a negative attention. If you find yourself feeling inadequate, having imposter syndrome, or never feeling good enough, your inner child may have learned that his or her experience or experiences or beingness weren't enough. Allow yourself to see the ways in which you feel the need to exaggerate who you are or parts of your life to feel enough. So the mantra is, I am enough just as I am. And it gives you remedies. Remedies. Notice when and how you might lie or exaggerate things in your life. As memories or experiences come up, tune inward and ask, what purpose did this serve? What did this fulfill? Go 24 hours without exaggerating or omitting the truth. Let yourself be seen. Yes. In my mind's eye, I got the sword, the Ace of Swords. I call it the sword of the spirit, the sword of truth, Ace of Swords. So be courageous and stand in your truth and tell the truth. Don't back out of your truth. Be the Page of Swords. Stand in your truth. You have to train yourself on how that feels, because it's exposing yourself, right? When you stand in your truth, it's almost feeling like being naked, but it also empowers you. Stand in your truth, and no one can lie to you. You can stop lying to yourself. And it says, you can read The Boy Who Cried Wolf. It says, read The Boy That Cried Wolf and notice what feelings come up. And then you hear some journaling prompts. It says, when I think I'm lying, I feel. That's a journal prompt. When you ask for help or share a celebration in your childhood home, were you honored or paid attention to? Do you lie or exaggerate pieces of your life to feel better about yourself, fit in, or get attention? All right. So that's the message. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. I did. And it's just take a small moment. It doesn't take a lot. It's too much to try to, when you try to change yourself. I find it easier is to put it on the altar of my heart, those negative emotions, and I surrender it to Lord. And he's like so gentle. He's so gentle. Like when we take care, some people who take care of, puppies or newborn babies, how you have to be very gentle. That's how God is with us, no matter how old we are. And no matter what we have done, he's very gentle and very loving and very caring. So also use that gentleness and that love and that care onto yourself. Be gentle with yourself today. That's the message. Be gentle with yourself today and stand in your truth. All right, guys. Bye.